Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. And thank you for subscribing to the latest edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. I'm 12 Kyle. Check this out. On this podcast, what I'm going to talk about is the Patriots. And no, when I say the Patriots, I'm not speaking of Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, and Robert Kraft from the NFL. No, I'm not talking about those Patriots. I'm talking about a different set of Patriots. Now, before I get started, I'm going to keep it a bean with you, right? If you've been listening to this podcast in the almost 6 years that I've had it at the time of this recording, I rarely talk about politics. I mean, it's just not, my steez. It's not something that's not really my get down. It's not what I do. However, I don't do it on the podcast, but obviously I talk politics away from the microphone. I think I've done maybe 3 podcasts about politics. So this will be number 4. My last one was called Politic Ditto, covering the insurrection and Trump and the 2020 election. So if you're not into politics, turn the podcast off. That said, what I want to talk about is I realized something has happened to me probably over the last few years. And I'm not really sure when exactly it happened. I'm assuming that it happened somewhere around 2016, but I'm not really sure. And it's something that was very subtle, but I noticed the change and it was just here. And here's what happened. Me, 12 Kyle, seemingly all of a sudden, every time I would see the American flag, the stars and stripes, I would, in my mind, recognize it as a symbol of hate. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can someone think that the American flag is a symbol of hate? Well, I began to see the flag more and more, when I would see the Patriots. And the Patriots, I think, are a little bit different from everyone else because the Patriots are doing their own thing, right? The Patriots, they believe what they believe. And when I speak of the Patriots, I'm not necessarily speaking of, Republicans or Democrats for that matter. But the Patriots, they believe in the flag and, they believe this is their country and, they don't want anyone to take over their country. They don't want to take their country back. And if you're not a patriot, you don't belong here. So yeah, I think that's where I started to correlate the two because every time I would see the flag, it was being flown proudly by a patriot, right? So the flag is something that, really has evolved for me over a period of time. Case in point, right? At the time of this recording, we're in the middle of a global pandemic. So everybody's lives have been affected. And I remember one day specifically where I work from home, right? And this particular school year, my kids have been at home, doing classes online. And our youngest child, our daughter, her class was about to start. And for whatever reason, I think I brought her computer and her desk and everything into my office, my home office, my library. And class was about to start. I had my headphones on. I really wasn't paying attention. And they had the kids recite the Pledge of Allegiance. And so my daughter stands up and she puts her hand over her heart and she starts reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. Now, this is something that it's not new to me. It's something that my kids have done at, in elementary school the whole time they've been in elementary school. And so it wasn't anything new to me. This was the first time that I had seen it in a while. So my daughter's reciting it and everything. And I'm listening to her. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As I listened to her recite those words, I'm like, wow. Because, I don't know about you guys, but the Pledge of Allegiance was something that we said in school growing up. And we stood and we put our hand over our right hand over our heart and we recited the Pledge of Allegiance and we pledged to the flag. But that particular day, the words really rang out. To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, meaning that we cannot be divided, with liberty and justice for all. That last part caught me. With liberty and justice for all. Not all patriots, not all white folk, not all black folk, not all Asian Americans, not all, whatever insert you want to add in their minority group. Liberty and justice for all. Do we have liberty and justice for all? Well, the short answer is no, we don't. And as I listened to her recite the pledge, there was a part of me that wanted to tell her, like, look, you ain't got to say that. You can stand, you can put your hand over your heart. You ain't got to recite that. But there was also a part of me that said, you know what? I'm not going to do that. One, because in the fourth grade, I don't necessarily know that she would be able to handle the conversation and the thoughts and concerns that would come with that. But that's a conversation that we will have. It's a conversation that I have with my sons. And they're older. So, it's coming. But yeah, the Patriots, they believe in that. And, the Patriots believe that you have to stand and salute the flag when the national anthem is played. Now, and I said it before in other podcasts, it's worth repeating. I do stand when the national anthem is played. And that's only because, that's what I've always done. I'm not necessarily pledging allegiance to the flag or anything when I stand. It's just that for me, it's more of a common courtesy. I don't begrudge anyone that doesn't stand. But I do the same thing that I did when I was playing football. I put my hands behind my back and I look around and I kind of rock back and forth. Because given the fact that I played sports and I played football in high school and college, the national anthem was played. But it wasn't until I got to South Carolina State University, a historically black college, where the national anthem wasn't played last. It was actually played first. And it was preceded by the black national anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing. And our school made sure that not only was that song played, but it was the last thing that you heard before the game started. And everybody stood and everybody sang. And you had to know the words because everybody around you knew the words. I'll be honest, there weren't probably any Patriots in the stands, but hey, here's what it is. So to me, that national anthem means more. It's more revered. It's more etched into my soul, if you will. So that's what I salute. Now, if I go to the Yankees game, I don't expect them to play Lift Every Voice and Sing. I don't. If they did, I'd bug out. But I mean, that'd be a good look. But they play the national anthem, I'll stand. But I mean, here's the thing and I've said this before, and it's worth repeating. The next time that you're at a sporting event and you hear the national anthem being played, look around. You don't have to say anything. Just look around. Man, you got people walking around because technically you're supposed to stop moving. You got people walking around. You got people digging in their nose. You got people digging in their ass. And yes, people do dig in their ass when the national anthem is being played. People are talking, people are on their cell phones. Nobody's doing what they probably should be doing, including the Patriots. So nah, I mean, it is what it is. The flag is the flag. I ain't tripping. And, coming from where I came from, I've learned to just see things for what they are. And what I mean by that is that I grew up in Florence, South Carolina, right? And it's not a big place, but it's big enough. And so it was probably sometime when I was in elementary school where I saw the Confederate flag. And you'll always see the Confederate flag in the South. I don't care where you go. Now, you might not see it. It's not, in your face per se, but, I know quite a few patriots get behind that flag. If you're ever on Interstate 75, I guess is going south on Interstate 75, going from the state of Georgia into the state of Florida. You're riding down I-75, and maybe about 6 or 7 miles once you cross the state line into the state of Florida, there's an exit. I can't remember the name of the exit or what the number is or whatever the case may be, but here's the thing that's key. You're in the state of Florida, you go about 6 or 7 miles, and you look to your left, and there is a Confederate flag. And you cannot miss this flag because it is literally the largest flag you will ever see. And on most days, it's windy or windy enough to move that flag. So that flag is flying high and proud. You cannot miss it. The only way that you might not see that flag is if you're driving at night. And I'm not even sure that you'll miss it at night. It's that big. And it's being flown on private property. There's no signs or anything around it or anything. It's just there. There's no way that you can miss it. No way. And I'm sure for a lot of people on a day-to-day basis that drive on that stretch of Interstate 75, that they're shocked that it's there. And you don't have to be, black or white, because the size of it, you cannot miss it. And I'm sure most of you have seen the American flag, be flown and be, pretty nice size. I've never seen an American flag this big. This flag is huge. And it's there for a reason. It's there because some patriot wants to remind you of what it stands for and why it's there. And you know what? You can't move it. Because again, it's on private property. It's not like it's flying on the it's not like it's flying at the Florida the governor's mansion or something like that. But that's what it is. And so that's what they want you to know. And so when I think about that, and I think about my daughter reciting the pledge, and I think about how the American flag has become a symbol of hate because it's being flown by the patriots, it got me to thinking just how patriotic are black people. I'm black. I mean, in case you never seen me before, I'm black. Just thought I'd throw that tidbit out there. But yeah, how patriotic are black people? I mean, I don't know. That's a very good question that I really don't have a great answer for. If I had to guess, not very patriotic. To quote the great O'Shea Jackson, my man Ice Cube, you want to free Africa, I'll stare at you, because we ain't got it too good in America. Close quote. Yeah, I mean, an enslaved people that were brought here against their will to work as they were beaten, murdered, raped, and built a nation and got nothing in return for it. Yeah, I don't know that you would necessarily be very patriotic either. But here's the thing. I think for the most part, like myself, I think we enjoy living in the United States. I can't really think of too many places I would rather live than the United States. In fact, I can't think of any because honestly, I've got enough money to where if I wanted to move, I could move out of the country. I mean, Jamaica's nice, but I ain't Jamaican, man. And, you know, plus when those hurricanes come through, man, it ain't the same. It hits differently, you know, in Jamaica than it does here in the United States. But I mean, I can't really think of too many places that I would want to live. So I'm not going anywhere. That being said, you know, it's hard to really be patriotic for a place that has shown you not the same love and opportunity in return. Where you've been denied the liberty. You've been denied the justice for all. Because there's no justice. It's just us. And that's just me keeping it real. But again, how patriotic are black folks? I don't know. I don't have a great answer for that. I really don't have a great answer for how patriotic white folks are. I can tell you one thing. The Patriots, oh my gosh. They are very patriotic. I mean, it's within their name. But I said all that to say this. I let the Patriots do what they do, right? They ain't bothering me. I ain't bothering them. They can go their way. I can go mine. Because at the end of the day, as a black man in this country, I want what's mine. And in the process of me getting what's mine, I don't have to get it from, I'm not taking anything away from a patriot or for anybody else for that matter in getting it. I don't need you in the way. That's all. Stay out of my way. I'll stay out of yours. No big deal. Because trust me, there's enough for everybody. In the land of the free, the home of the brave, there's more than enough for everybody. But nah, man. I think I can speak for all black people when I say people should be happy that we just want equality and not revenge. Because if If the Patriots had to go through what we went through, they would probably want revenge. We don't want revenge. We just want what's ours. That's it. We don't want to be denied equal rights. We want to come and go as we please. We want to vote. We want to do everything that everybody else can do, and we don't need you in the way. That's all. I don't think I'm speaking out of turn when I say that that's what black folks want. I can't speak for everybody, but I don't think I'm going out on a limb by saying that. So it gets me back to the flag and the Patriots. You know, you can be proud of that flag. Just like the guy who flies that huge Confederate flag in Florida. I'm sure he's extremely proud of that flag. Personally, I don't give a fuck. I don't. Because it has nothing to do with me. And it's not going to stop me from getting and doing what it is that I'm supposed to do. Period. But when you come with the patriotism, just remember those words. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God. Oh man, I wish I had time to talk about how the Patriots, they're supposed to be some religious people, but they're causing all kind of hell. Running up in the Capitol like that. The nerve of you. Under God, with liberty and justice for all. Ultimately, that's what we want. Period. And as the great Malcolm Little once said, we will attain this by any means necessary. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for checking out this edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. I'm your boy 12 Kyle. I'll catch you guys next time. 5 stacks.